is very important too, as I mentioned, to provide the space for the private sector to deliver in a sustainable manner. For us as United Nations, what matters is that when the country transits, whether on climate or on education, that transition, which is inevitable, is just and equitable, so that it also delivers for all the people.
كيف ترون الإجراءات التي اتخذتها مصر مؤخرا على صعيد الإصلاح الاقتصادي وبالتأكيد أهمها تحرير سعر صرف الجنيه وتأثيره على أداء القطاع الخاص في مصر؟
We are very encouraged. We are very glad that the country is really embarking on these pathways of economic structural reforms. And of course, the private sector again is critical, because when we are talking about a healthy and an economy, inclusive economy that creates jobs, it has to be the private sector at the core. So we are very encouraged by the recent steps that the government has taken in order to expand the space for the private sector, the state-owned policy that the government is now implementing as we speak, and many other reforms. If we talk about, for example, manufacturing, if we talk about IT, if we talk about agriculture, everywhere I believe we will see more private sector coming in.
ولكن كيف ترون في الأمم المتحدة تأثير التوترات الجيوسياسية الراهنة على أداء الاقتصاد المصري وأيضا قدرته على التماسك والصمود في مواجهة هذه التحديات؟
There is a report that the United Nations Development System just published with regard to this, a huge impact, because if you look first, if you look at the two doorsteps of Egypt, Sudan, a huge influx, more than 500,000 Sudanese refugees that resided, that flee, to Egypt, and that means a lot of pressure on the health, on the social, on the educational systems of the country. So it's a huge burden, and we need to realize this. It's a huge burden also on the host community. So that's why we are encouraging the development partners, the donor communities, to invest and to support Egypt, because Egypt is a good host. There are no camps, right? A good host to all these refugees. If you look Gaza, again at the doorstep of Egypt, huge impact, regretfully. Tourism is one, and of course, most important is the Suez Canal. So all this, inevitably impacts Egypt, but we believe that the international community will stand behind Egypt and support Egypt so that Egypt can overcome this.